Hello, happy people. Welcome to this episode of Women Rise. My name is Nayiga Madreen, and today is the 9th of March, but yesterday was 8th of March, and we just celebrated the International Women's Day. Now, we are really so happy that we are women. I hope all women watching us are also proud to be a woman. I have a guest with me in studio. She's called Mboneko Viola. She will introduce herself more about. And so as this is March, so as the month goes on, it is our month, and I'll give you an opportunity to share in the comment section. Just go to the comment section, tell us that superhero woman who has stood out for you and celebrate her. Of course, tell us why you are celebrating her and appreciating her. And as you celebrate them, don't forget to celebrate yourself. Yeah, because women, we forget ourselves. You're running up and down doing this, and then you forget to celebrate yourself. And the theme this year for the Women's Day is invest in women. Yes, invest in women. How are you helping the woman in your area? But of course, start with yourself. The change you want to see in society begins with you. So as a woman, how are you investing in yourself? Go out, have some fun, spare that time for you. Go have some fun, yes. Either to take away, whatever you do in the week, but have a weekend. Go have some fun, chill out with your girls, be happy, look happy. Yes, so that other people also find it important to appreciate you and be loved. Yes, so welcome to the show again. And I'll give this opportunity to Viola to introduce herself. Yes, Viola, welcome.
Thank you, Civic Space, for having me.
Yes.
I am so pleased to be here.
Welcome.
Yes, my name is Viola Mboneko. I am a sales and marketing specialist with over a dozen years of experience.
Wow.
But outside my workspace, I am a mother of 3 amazing children.
Beautiful.
Shout outs to Baba, Zola, and Ubuntu.
Wow.
And to an amazing husband, very supportive, called Zion.
Wow.
Yes. So before we go any further, you had mentioned a superhero.
Yes, superhero woman. Please tell us.
Oh yeah, I can tell you. Most people think of heroes, but I think of my mother.
Wow.
She's called the Honorable Victoria Rusoke Businge. Growing up, I literally saw my mother do everything.
Yeah.
There's a time where she had 4 jobs. She would go
Four
on 4 jobs because
Wow.
she had to supplement the household income. And we were 4 children, all going to the best schools in the uni, and there was no excuse. So the lesson is that it's about time women stop making excuses and complaining, but to have the determination and perseverance that they can do it against all odds.
Wow.
Yes.
We are starting on the right point.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
I mean, what can't you do? I said you're that change that you need to see in society.
And by the way, my mother started off as a grade 3 teacher. Then she went on to become a headmistress.
Oh.
Then she went on to become a district education officer. Then she joined politics.
Wow.
And now she sits at the table of kings. It's really, really possible for God to exalt you as long as you put in the work.
And then right from there, you take us through your childhood experience, those memorable events that you remember.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, growing up as a child, I was a wild one.
Okay.
I got the spankings of my lifetime.
Okay.
Everyone can attest to that. I used to climb trees, imagine me. Trees, very high trees. There's a time I climbed they used to call them jambula. I don't know if the children of this generation know
I don't know if they know, but I do know that.
Jambula and jackfruit trees, I would climb them, follow my brother, and then after that, I got stuck one day. And I summoned all my siblings to bring their mattresses so that I could fall.
You fall on the mattress.
But on falling, I got cut by a barbed wire, and trust me, I got the whooping of my life. But that didn't stop me. I kept adventurous. I learned how to ride a bike, and even today, I learned how to ride a boda during COVID.
Even today?
Yes.
Wow.
That is who I am.
What can't women do?
Everything.
I mean, we are moving into these spaces.
We can do anything. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that is beautiful. So, Viola, you're going to tell us more about what you're doing currently. What are you doing?
So currently, I'm a consultant. I like to call myself a consultant, rightfully so. I have the authority to say that because I have worked so hard for over a dozen years in the corporate world. I have built brands in Kampala for sales and marketing. I started off in an agency called Centurion where we handled different brands, adult beverages. There was a rebranding of a club beer to a thin neck bottle. I was a young girl then, rebranding that bottle from a fat bottle to, because in marketing, image matters and how things, the aesthetics of brands. So they later moved to Heineken, where I also did branding there and sales and marketing consultant role. We were in the trade and did a lot of good things in this market. I've worked for local entrepreneurs who are big manufacturers, Movit Products Limited. I've worked for Coca-Cola.
Wow.
I've worked for African
Big brands.
Grain, yes.
I see.
But imagine, even then, I had already registered this business, titanium. Titanium is a metal, a very special metal that's made even to make like some special parts of planes and all that. And when I was young, there was a song that came out, I am titanium. So it was so exciting. And being a child, I immediately registered that business. And years later, it has come to me.
This business started way
11 years ago, I did 2 jobs. I remember my first job was the fountain publisher.
11 years you're working?
Yes, 11 years ago, I was working. I was about 20. You guys, don't give away my age. But I was, I think, 26. Yes.
Okay.
Around 26. So there was a gig I did for fountain publishers. They were turning 25 years. They gave me a job. And then I did other jobs. And then obviously, as they say, the rest is history. I got too busy, but now I'm back. Yes. And I can proudly say, as we speak, I have about 3 clients.
Wow.
And I know my portfolio will keep growing. Yes.
So how are you doing it? How are you able to juggle through? You mentioned you're a mother of 3 kids.
Mother of 3 kids.
And then from your profile, you're a student. How are you doing all this?
I'm an ongoing law student at the Makerere School of Law in second semester.
What inspires you to go back? And
I will tell you about
law.
that. With law, it was spiritual. I don't know if people believe in spirituality, but I do.
Okay.
There's emotional intelligence. There's intellectual intelligence, IQ. But I recently got to understand that there's also SQ, spiritual quotients. There's a part of you underneath all your noise that commands you to do something. And imagine growing up, everyone, because of how I talk and my confidence, people always mistook me to be counsel. But I strictly went because I felt like I was called. Because when I went to do the entry exam, I was 7 months pregnant. I didn't tell anyone. And then I passed the exam.
Okay.
And now I'm there, and it's exciting because how are you supposed to impact the world when you don't know the law? So for me, I felt it was a good place to also enter. Yes. But juggling everything, I learned about prioritizing last year. You can't do everything in life. You must prioritize. So I learned about a metric called the Eisenhower matrix. Shout outs to Choga Foundation that really helped upskill us as business women. So in life, you can't do everything. There are things you must do. There are things you won't do. There are things you can do later. And there are things you can delegate.
Okay.
So imagine if you have a to-do list for the week. Picking children, visiting your parents, meeting a client, onboarding a new client, going to school, going to church, spending time with God, checking on a sick relative, burying someone who died, going to church. You have to do all these things because society demands that you must be present, being there for your friends. So you have that quadrant. What must you do yourself as Madreen? What have you to do? If picking your children matters, will you pick them and drop them? Possibly not. So you'll say, I'll pick them, then possibly my husband will drop them. Something like that. Then do I have to cook?
Okay.
Maybe to bond, I can cook once a week and I can teach my house manager to cook like me so that I am managing my domestic affairs. So you have to learn to delegate because for you to be able to grow, you can't be everywhere.
True.
So that matrix works for mothers, for single people, for everyone. You should try it sometime. Yes.
Wow, beautiful. And I'm happy you're sharing with our women.
Yes, women need it the most because, truth be told, you're not going to delegate raising your children to anyone else. Men are amazing. My husband is amazing, but we have been called to do that role. So you have to delegate. So to all the women out there, train your house managers to do what you do, and trust me, you'll be a very happy working woman. Yes.
Wow. So I believe in the power of storytelling
Yes.
because we've had episodes, right? From our first episode, we have different women every day. So I believe these stories, there's something to pick.
True.
And
True.
they're changing lives.
True, true, true.
Yes, so Viola, you would tell us more about how do you keep relevant? You mentioned your marketing, you're into digital marketing.
Yes.
How do you keep relevant? And then you'll also tell us the percentage of women into this. Yes.
So relevance really is about you as a person, because relevance can be a trend. There's something that can be relevant today and it's not relevant tomorrow.
Yeah.
But how you stay relevant is by doing things that are aligned to your purpose. Before you do anything, you must discover your purpose. It has taken me years and years and years. My purpose is always around people. I have tagged myself as destiny helper because I love working and developing people. And I believe because I'm confident, I can even grow someone to be greater than me. And for me, that's what gives me joy. So after understanding that, then you stay relevant in your calling. So for me, because I know I love growing brands, make anything I touch it with passion, and I want it to grow.
Passion.
So how do I do that? I look at the trends. You cannot be relevant when you're ignorant.
Yeah, true.
You need to know what is happening around you. How has the marketplace changed? So going to digital marketing, it was also again destiny, because I used to hear about it. I think my friend Charity was amongst the first digital people. And then I jumped on board 2020 in January. And in March of the same year, we went into a lockdown. And then we couldn't study physically.
Yeah.
All our classes were online at the Uganda Management Institute. I did my first proctored exam with my supervisor sitting in London and me in Uganda, where the cameras were watching me, making sure I'm not going to copy.
Oh.
Yes. And imagine they even charged us an extra, I think, £30 to do that exam. But because I wanted to finish the course in time, I had to part with that. So relevance is about seeing the trends and your purpose and aligning that. So about the women in digital marketing, there are not very many. Most people think they are doing digital marketing, but they are doing a part of digital marketing.
Please tell us more about that.
So there's a misconception that people have that popularity is digital marketing. Absolutely not. But I'm proud to know that some people who have those big numbers have gone and got those certifications, because I'm sure now they understand what numbers and popularity means. Because in digital marketing, there's something called vanity matrix. You can have very many followers, thousands and thousands, but are they converting? There's something called conversion in digital marketing, and that's like turning someone from an actual like and a tick to actually buying what you're selling. And that is where the rubber meets the road. So what digital marketing teaches you, it teaches you all those KPIs, those metrics, and then you learn to measure yourself, and then you will be able to see the results from the actual online to coming offline. Yes.
And being a Women's Month, so what do you say about these women? I know many women are doing businesses, but are we embracing this digital marketing as women?
So women are doing business. Yes, women are doing very well. It's just that they need to know your personality. Every brand has a personality. Madreen has a personality. Civic Space has a personality. I have a personality. So because people want to connect with you as a person. So it's about structuring your brand. There's something called architecture, your brand archetype. So you know that how do you want to be positioned? Do you want to be a hero? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be all these sorts of things? All that information is available, but it's how you use it. So if you have a business online and you oversell yourself and people come to your shop, for example, that of the clothes, and you on the online you have said you have quality, you have good pricing, you have good. Then I come. There's something called reach online, purchase offline.
Okay.
Because like most people, I'm sure you, when you're looking for your lipstick, you're saying, where can I get a good lipstick online? But being who we are as human beings, you want to touch something.
Yeah.
So you go to the shop and see. So if what they sold you online doesn't align with what you see
what you will see.
offline, that is where the challenge comes. So I encourage all people, whatever enticing things you put online, let it match what your experience is offline. And that is where most people fail. Yes, they sell you a dream, and
Yet
then
the reality is
a
different.
totally different experience. Yeah.
Okay. And I see you were nominated as the most influential marketer of the year.
Oh, man,
2023.
Madreen, you've got me. Where did you get this information? These are not the questions, but
So tell us about the experience. How do you feel?
oh, yeah. It was the Silverback Awards last year. Uganda Marketing Society, UMS, and the Uganda Advertising Association. They came together to create something called the Silverbacks. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
It's a good initiative to recognize talent. I was honored because I was standing with giants, Emma, Daniel Ongom, Laboke.
Whoa.
All these great women. I think there was also Rachel from Prudential, myself, and then someone else from Unilever. Can't seem to remember the name. But it was very exciting, and I thank all my voters. I wasn't successful, but the nomination was a good pat on the back.
It's still something we need to appreciate.
Yes, and out of that, we also now have a society called the Top Marketers Society, which I will be telling people about it online, where all marketers, zero subscription, you're able to come and share your ideas as marketers.
Yes, I had to know more about you. And then really also LinkedIn community, you have a badge ranking you as top brand management voice.
What?
Yes, for 60 days. I mean, it's something
and
to
they
be
renewed
proud
that.
of.
They actually renewed that.
Oh.
Yes, because the 60 days already passed. So it happens because when you participate on LinkedIn and give your opinion about a space you play, they give you that authentication.
Wow.
And what I love about it is that you don't have it for life. You have it only as long as you are relevant in that space. So it was very exciting for LinkedIn to give me that top management voice, because that is the space I play in. I try to share as much as I can in all the spaces I can. Because actually, a friend of mine called Victoria said that, Viola, you know what? You are marketing and marketing is you. I don't know what she meant, but I guess that's what it is.
Wow.
Yes.
And we are really so happy for you. You know,
you.
those small wins, they are so also important to
Praise
celebrate.
God for that.
Yeah.
Yes, praise God.
So, Viola, tell us more about Titanium Agency. Yes, how are you doing this? What is it about? Yes.
Thank you so much. Titanium Agency is a company that uses the gorilla model of working. Yeah. So how I work is I do not work independently. I work with other people.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very cost effective. And because I believe in myself, I'm able to work with different institutions. I work with leadership institutions like Fidelis Leadership Institute, that is about growing ethical leaders. Because the biggest problem in this country is a lack of ethics. The potholes, everything you complain about comes down to ethics. So I was very proud to associate with them. I work with the Top Marketers Society, originally from Kenya, now we're here. I work currently with my client, their manufacturer, Scotia Toilet Paper. I work with General Assurance and very many other businesses on a multiple level. However, Titanium, for me, I like to call ourselves as an agency that helps businesses maximize their potential. Most businesses do not know how far they can go. So being a person that loves to see growth, I and my team that I work with independently, I have a graphics person, an interior person, because I know a lot of things happen, legal issues, we have a legal person to help. We have all these people, IT systems, because like I've said, the way this model works is you are in the center and then you have all these arms. We even have someone who can help you when you have mental wellness issues, because that's a growing problem. So we have put ourselves in the center, and we have seen problems that are associated with businesses. People underestimate mental health a lot, by the way.
A lot.
But we have our partner, Angela Nsimbi.
Wow.
She's also a mental health activist. So how
we've
we
had her,
work
by the way, on the show.
on that show.
Yeah.
So how I've decided to work is be in the middle.
Okay.
Put your wings across, and when there's a gap for that your client needs to close, connect that gap with another supplier who can be able to close that gap. So Titanium is here for you if you need us. We're here to grow your business. For those that are beginning, in the middle, or those who are currently declining and are looking for ways of revamping themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you do this? And how do people reach out to Titanium?
Yes. So currently we have a LinkedIn
And
page.
also, which kind of businesses are you, or companies are you people
the
working
companies
with?
mostly, they call them fast-moving consumer goods, especially products that you use on a day-to-day. We love to help those because most of them struggle. There's a saturated market with that. Then service industry, insurance firms, please come to us. We're able to help you. Yeah, manufacturers, please, we're here to help. SMEs, and for the large companies, we're very good with training, capability, capacity building. I've had the privilege of partnering with another friend in the past called Moses. He's also good with capability. So I've done trainings. I've done trainings at Sam's Foods. I've done trainings at Roofings.
Wow.
Yes, I've done trainings at different companies.
And then Titanium, future plans for Titanium.
This is what the future looks for us. I'm dreaming of having a space where I can mentor people as well, because for success to be success, there have to be those that come after you.
Yeah.
If you ever do something and it ends with you, then it wasn't successful. So I learned it from one of my former supervisors called Bruce. He's a director, I think, in Movit. I don't know if he's still there, but he said, failure, for success to be successful, there has to be a successor.
Okay.
So if whatever you do, if there's no succession, then it dies. So for me as a business, I am very passionate about mentorship, because even when I cease to live in this earth, I know that my name will resound on these soils, because I will have trained other people to do what I do. So I want to have a mentorship school, a training school, a skilling school. That's our dream. Yes.
Wow. Wow. And I hope women will be at the forefront.
Of course. Of course. However, truth be told, today I sent out a post on LinkedIn. I think women can be great, should be supported, but regardless, we should also retain our respect for the men. Because I'm a mother of a boy, and I'm a boy child advocate. So being a good woman doesn't mean underestimating another man. And that's where we fail. We think that to be a good woman and to be a feminist,
everything should be around you.
Everything, because organizations also need men. Men are good at some skills. Women have a lot to learn from men. For example, temperaments. Most men have better temperaments than women. Women, we love each other, but we are also very unforgiving. So I really think that as we support the women agenda, we must also retain that the boys are also supported. And anyone who knows me knows I stand for that. Yes.
Wow. And I've seen some of your articles on LinkedIn. Yes. You talked about cyber harassment.
Yes.
And then you have writings about communication, but let us talk about cyber harassment. Yes, you're in the digital world. Yes, and women are really suffering the more.
So much. Tell me about it.
To the extent that sometimes it's even women putting fellow women down.
Exactly.
Yes, so please tell us
about
women
some light about
and
other women. There's my favorite quote by Madeleine Albright. It says, "There's a special place in hell for women who don't
Oh.
support other women? Please write it.
Right?
There is a special place in hell for women. A special, imagine hell, but having a special place in hell, like the degree of fire that will be in that hell for women who do not support fellow women.
Right.
You see, so back to cyber harassment. Cyber harassment comes because of the world we live in. The other day, I posted a video of myself. I'm a curvaceous person by nature. So I was thinking, I'm going to post this so that I motivate fellow people struggling with weight loss to do this. So I post my video, and in like 3 minutes, I was getting very many likes and then very disturbing comments. There's a guy, I think from Rwanda, who made some very vulgar comments. And then at first I ignored it. But then I had to pull down the video because I felt like if I leave this video on, the
More
other
of these
hooligans, are going to come on. And unfortunately for us women, we don't have the privilege of standing up. You always have to guard yourself because how you dress. I used to be a very big fan of skimpy clothes, of tight clothing. So sometimes we attract the cyber harassment because of how we look. So ask yourself, how have I'm not saying you're blaming yourself, but how have you contributed to the cyber harassment? The digital world has really misled us because we feel like we have to tell the world everything. You send your live locations, you tell people where you are, you tell people what you're doing,
everything that happens,
what you've had for lunch.
You're updating.
You're updating when they break up with you. So what privacy are you retaining for yourself as a person?
It starts with you.
It starts with you. You have a boyfriend, you're sharing nudities with him. Why are you sharing your head? Why don't you share one sector of your part? Because they may not identify, but you give everything on a platter. And I think that is wrong. Except they're victims. Of course, there are people who are innocent and have been recorded in their privacy. That is wrong. But how to overcome cyber harassment now that the water is already spilled and you're already at that point?
There.
I think, first of all, don't retaliate because social media attracts fire. If you go with fire, they will come after you. So keep quiet, go offline for some time. There's always room for rebranding. I believe in rebranding. Even if your pictures leaked nude, you can rebrand yourself into a decent, respectable human. But that also starts with you. That also starts with you. Because I can tell you how you look plays a lot. Perceptions are not exactly what you think of yourself, but what other people think of you. So you have to play psychological tricks on the human mind by also rebranding yourself, being in a better environment, speaking better, dressing better. It all comes down. It's a lot of work, but it's not ending. It's going to get worse and worse. And then the regulators, if you look at the act for cyber harassment, the penalty for it is very minimal. That someone can harass you and even pay for the offense ahead of time before they are charged.
Can you imagine?
It's not a very huge sum of money that can damage your wallet to the extent that if I do this, I might lose. It isn't. So, and also you might, depending on who you are in society. I saw a recent gentleman who was taken to court for abusing the kavaka. And of course the other general public came out to protect him and what. But ask yourself, do I have the backing of the community for me to, you might not, because you're just possibly an ordinary citizen. So understand where you are in life. It all starts with you. So like I said, I posted that video on my TikTok. When I started seeing those disturbing vulgar comments, I just pulled it down. So, but there are some people who enjoy the likes, the shares, the fame. It drives them. It fuels them. But guess what? It's like me walking around in shorts, and then someone later tells me your thighs have the worst cellulite. I have attracted that attention to myself, so I should be ready to digest the feedback.
Oh,
yes.
Important.
Yep. Yeah. So it's two ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. And I must say, being a Women's Month, we
Yeah.
are privileged. The women on, we have people on camera are women. So shout out to you, ladies
I
on
see
camera.
them.
I mean, these are spaces that were for the
Yes.
gentlemen, but
True.
we
I'm
have
very impressed.
women taking up these spaces.
Yes.
And maybe a question to you, Viola. Do you think women, are we embracing these spaces? How far do you
Yes.
think we have grown?
There's a gentleman I love, Jordan Peterson, and he says if women want to fight for equality, then you must play in the spaces. You can't say that the jobs that are reserved for you are C-suite jobs. That is MD, CEO. If you want equality, you have to become a plumber. Because you can't say that the plumbing jobs are for men, and the C-suite jobs are for women. So let us see the women plumbing. Shout out to my friend called Jamila Mayanja. She's of Smart Girls Foundation. They're girls who are mechanics.
Oh.
They're fixing cars,
Wow.
engines, and all that. That is what we want to play in the equality space. That is the space we have to play in. So it shouldn't just be lip service. It should be an actual, like we said, the ladies behind the cameras. That's a very good job because it was reserved for the males.
Yeah.
But we have good photographers. So it's not lip service. It means that if you're saying, of course there are things a man will do and a woman won't do, but let us see women in the trenches as well. Because if you fight for equality, that's what equality looks like. It means getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Beautiful. And Viola, as maybe we draw to the end of the conversation, what are some of your lessons to the young people, most especially the young woman who is watching you right now, a young woman who has, who is admiring you right now, a young woman who is stuck, doesn't know where to go? Yes, please speak to that woman.
So I'll talk to the woman out there who aspires to also grow, have a family, be happily married and all that, because society is starting to shun that they are glorifying independence and glorifying an independent woman and trying to make the family woman look like they're old-fashioned. So 2 pieces of advice. One of my mentors, she's called Bukum Awoshika.
Okay.
She's a Nigerian. She was the first CEO of the Bank of America in Nigeria. So the first thing for a woman is choose the right partner in life. Your partner in life can determine your success.
Okay.
I can proudly say that if I hadn't chosen my husband, I wouldn't be the woman I am today.
Wow.
Because most times I'm here today because I've left him and I'm here. He's managing the fort for me. And he has done that endlessly. So let's not underestimate the choices we make as women when it comes to our life partners. Be very deliberate and intentional about who you want to spend the rest of your life with. It will determine a lot of your success. Over and above that, be true to yourself. Shakespeare said, to thyself be true. This is to any woman, regardless of whether you're married or not. Most times we're living a lie. And that's why you see there's an increase in all these things that make us look who we are not. The wigs, the makeup, everything, to cover up who we are as people. Even me myself today, I was like, oh my God, I forgot to powder my face. How am I going to look? My eyebrows.
Yeah.
And then you just said, you look fine, just get on set. So it's all those insecurities that affect us as women, because then we lose who we really are, and then we are being who we are not. So be true to yourself, choose a good life partner who supports you, and above all, for me, it has been God. God is at the center of my life. He believes in me, even when I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I have a spiritual relationship with my Creator, because without Him, I wouldn't be anything.
Wow.
Yes.
And I want to appreciate the brains behind this particular space, Women at the Front Lines. That is a Center for Constitutional Governance. And Edie, thank you so much because right from episode 1 to where we are right now, we've continued to see people coming back to watch these episodes. And I know people are learning and picking a lot. So thank you so much to Team Center for Constitutional Governance and Civic Space TV. So Viola, you'll give us your parting shots, your last remarks, what you think people should know about you, and
Okay, thank you very much. My word for the season is that you as a person are able to overcome your storms, because many times in life we suffer because of change. Change is a big disruptor. As we speak, the world is going through a new revelation called the artificial intelligence, AI. Just the other day, we had to write our assignments. Now there are applications for those assignments. There are apps for that. There are apps for photographers. There's an app that's making movies. It's crazy, and we are going to grow up. We are going to live in a very, very crazy, disruptive world. But I learned that in that disruption of a storm, when a storm is happening, there's wind, there's water, there's rain. We like wind when we are feeling hot because it keeps us cool. We like the sun on a good day. We like the rain because it cools the earth. But when all those elements come together as a force of nature and create a disruption, I learned from one of my mentors, the late Miles Monroe, that a storm or a hurricane can destroy everything. But this is metaphorically speaking. Imagine the world we are living in now. It's going to disrupt a lot of things. Growing up, I watched a movie called The Terminator by Schwarzenegger. You should all get it, the first one. I used to run when I would watch that movie because there was this Terminator. It could trace you where you are, and now that is the reality. You are tracked literally to your home. However, how are we going to live in the world tomorrow? We must be prepared. We must upskill ourselves. We must be cognizant of the present. To the regulators out there, I always ask, we are so quick to embrace technology, but when you embrace a technology that makes millions of people lose their job, what do you do as a regulator for those people? The other day, Singapore was upskilling. It said it was going to subsidize so that people reskill themselves. Because imagine you're 40 years old and what you learned at 20 is not relevant. And we're going to see a lot of mental health, because if you don't have a job, you're going to get frustrated and get stressed, and it will possibly get to your head. So for me, to the people out there, to learn, upskill yourself, understand what's happening in the world, support your children, teach your children the latest technology. And to the governments and the leaders out there, honestly, there has to be some regulations to protect the human race. So for me, it's always get ready to embrace the storm and know that when the storm comes, there will be new things to come. Yes.
Wow, beautiful. It has been so wonderful from Viola. Would you mind sharing your handles or titanium handles?
So on Twitter, I'm at Friend of God 143. That's what I am on Twitter. On Instagram, Mboneko Viola. On Facebook, Mboneko Viola. On I said Instagram, Facebook. On LinkedIn, Mboneko Viola Rusoke there. Titanium Agency is there, Titanium Uganda on LinkedIn. I'm yet to open other accounts, but there's a Titanium also on X. It's now X, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So please follow us, reach out to us, and I'm sure you'll put my contacts and everything in the bio.
Yeah.
So thank you. And thank you, Civic Space, for having me. You're doing a good job.
We are so honored to have you here, of course.
Happy Women's Day
Women's
and Women's
Day.
Month to all the women out there.
Yes, and I also need to celebrate the women that are so important in my life. Shout out to you, my mother, and then there's another great, important woman that she's not here now. She's passed, but I really salute you wherever you are. Continue resting in peace. She did a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so
Should I send out shout outs? My sister
of
will
course,
kill
of
me if I
course.
leave. Shout outs to Doris and the whole Princess Squad, my cousins, Vicky, Liz, and my mom. And Zola and Ubuntu, my babies, and Baba. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Viola.
Yes.
You know, it's not easy coming here and to, to share your story, what you're
Yes.
doing with our women. But thank you
Yes.
so much for
It
coming
was an
through.
honor. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So thank you so much, our
right.
viewers. You're always lovely viewers. The reason as to why we come back here every Saturday is because you keep watching our shows. So leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share the link so that, more people get to know about these amazing stories. I've been your host, Madreen. Thank you to the ladies on the cameras. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye.